Alright, now, so here's the GPU. Just showing these numbers here. And what we're going to do, put this, there we go. Just put this GPU into the machine and power it on. Okay, now, let's go ahead and put it in. Okay, so that's in. We have the HDMI cable. And we're cutting the power supply on. Now, we are going to cut the machine on. Okay, so as you can see there, it cuts on, everything runs fine. Then we're going to get a display on the screen, and I'm going to show you that this is the Sapphire Vega 64 through the software. And we're going to do a stress test, and yes, okay, so, okay, we're logging in. I'm not sure if you can see any of this. Okay, yeah. Okay, so first thing I want to do is just pull up GPU-Z. And what this is going to do is show us a few numbers that verify that this is a Vega 64 versus a 56. And it takes a few minutes sometimes. But as you can see here, with the Vega 64, what you have are 64 of these ROPs versus 256. Probably not the best way to point the pin here. You have these 64 here and this 256 here, and 4096 here. Now that is only available in a Vega 64. If this was a Vega 56, it would have a 56 where it would have a 56 there. It would have a 224 where the 256 is, and it would have a 3584 where the shaders are. Okay, so I just want to, and so here is GPU-Z for my computer. It's showing the card name, Radeon RX Vega, and we have the 64 compute units. I'm not sure actually, it's just ROPs, and so we can verify here that it's a 64, and also we can verify here this Vega 64. This is a GPU stress test, and as you can see, AMD Radeon RX Vega 64. I'm gonna go ahead and start the stress test, and go there. Okay, now the protocol is to run this for 30 minutes to let it not, to make sure it's stable. And we'll go ahead and do that. But as you can see, it states it's a Vega 64 there. And lastly, I just want to show in the AMD settings, which are loading. Give me 1 second. Okay, here they go. Okay, and I apologize. I'm looking through my phone as I'm doing this, so this is not. So as you can see here, I'm using the 17.12 software version, which is the Adrenaline software version, and that is what I recommended in the eBay listing. And you can see the hardware here. Once again, you can see all the details there. So that is there. And also, lastly, and just so you know, this is this device manager is functioning properly. You know, it's showing real time everything there, and so everything is currently stable. Everything's running fine. And so, and lastly, we can go into the device manager and we can just take a look at what devices are connected here, and we will show the Vega the Vega 64, and it will show RX Radiant RX Vega. I'm sorry, but I verified that it is an RX Vega 64, and so right now, this may be boring. You may want to fast forward through this, but it will be completely stable through this stress test. So here is current time. It's 2:34. So I'm just going to set this here and let it run, and just to show this stress test, and yeah, just so we have a continuous video, and that will be that. So just bear with me. I would do this with screen recording software, but I wanted to be sure that you all saw the actual GPU that I'm using. Okay, well, I can come back to it. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video and let it sit and do it, and come back to it. I'll show you in the video that it's the same card.